So, I mean, like, the
striated glutes in the 90s right here. Not nowadays. That's I just started to diet.
got 10 pounds to go.
Yep. And you will be seeing more of Francisco later on, but it goes to show you just how much the sport has evolved. But we'll start with Bryce's bachelor party, and I'll show you guys how that went. Alright guys, right here, this is where is this? This is Barbell Brigade. I believe that's the name of it, Barbell Brigade. And we're here to celebrate Bryce's bachelor party. So we're having his bachelor party, and how appropriate is that? In the gym. So we're gonna lift, I think we're gonna shave. I don't think I'm gonna need much of that. And then we're gonna go have a high protein, high carb, lower fat meal. We're gonna have sushi. So looking forward to this. And it's been a while since I've seen my boys, so can't wait for you to get here, and we're gonna get weight room wasted. It was it was a really good training session. That's what Bryce wanted to do as part of his bachelor party. He wanted to get in a training session, and this is me and Hani, who is a 3D Muscle Journey athlete, and also someone who's been a good friend for a few years now. So having Bryce there, having Hani there, and just a room filled with people who were there to just, like I said, get weight room wasted. I ended up hitting, which is a PR at this weight, which is 315 for a single on the front squat. And these were my back offsets. And I believe I had about 5 back offsets or so. And yeah, it was just a really good time. I think on that 315, Bryce gave me the evil eye. He looked at me, and I knew that I had no choice but to get that 315 up. So something about 3 plates on the front squat just really makes me nervous. I don't know. But this was the highlight of the day, and I'm sure many of you guys might have seen this on either my Instagram or on, as you can see, a lot of folks were videotaping this. This was 710 pounds is what we thought initially, but I guess this is a slightly heavier bar. This is a 55-pound bar. Another day. That's my homie right there. Short, it ended up being 720 with some room to spare. Finally came back home after spending what was almost a full week with Bryce and his new bride Sarah, both awesome folks, awesome people, but I was definitely anxious to get back to my routine. And of course, I'm contest dieting now, but I'm going to go ahead and admit that up until this week, I don't think I've been very consistent or rather precise. I've definitely been using common sense when it comes to approaching the holidays and just a lot of different wonderful occasions, but it's really only been about maybe 5 days or so where I've really been able to write everything down, and I've really been on top of my game. So it was nice to get back to that. It definitely was. And I cannot wait to just continue on with, I guess, what is that hyper-focused bodybuilder that definitely, takes over within reason. So I'm really looking forward to just controlling more of those nutritional variables and getting myself into the shape that I need to be in order to be effective. But also, I don't want to skimp over my training, because that's really important. And I think one rule that I try to follow is that although nutrition plays an important role in getting you on stage and having you look your best, I definitely think that there is, I think it's really important that as a bodybuilder, you still try to make performance something that's really important. And what I mean by that is that I try to, if anything, be better at squeezing everything I can from my programming, from my decision making in the gym, since a lot of my programs are auto-regulated, and I try to, if anything, progress the first few weeks that I diet. And so far, so good, and you guys are going to see in a moment here exactly what I mean. So 315 for a single was a PR at this body weight. I ended up hitting it for a triple on the following Monday, so I was really excited about that. And you know, while this form wasn't exactly, it wasn't pristine in my opinion, there's a few things I want to do better, but I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. And, you know, the 315 maybe won't be so much of a mental block next time. So really quickly, things that I want to change with the front squat. I forgot to cue my elbows not just up but in, and that really wakes up my T-spine. And then also one thing about the front squat is that I kind of use the weight as a counterweight, kind of like you would with a goblet squat. And basically what I'm thinking of as I'm squatting is just basically the bar path from the side, from what I imagine myself squatting from this angle here. And again, just using that weight as a counter. And I think that cue has really helped me stay upright on my with my front squatting, and has made it a very effective exercise that is not limited by my front rack position. But here goes Francisco, who opened up this video, and this is I think it was 385. So 385 went up pretty easily. So he decided to go for 405, and mind you, he weighs 155 pounds. 155 pounds, and he is relatively lean right now, I would say. He's 12 weeks out from his first show, but again, you know, we're trying to make performance something that's of great importance, even though we are, you know, cosmetic athletes. Again, especially if you're going to do this without drugs, performance matters, and maintaining performance as you diet is really important. So yeah, he smoked this 405, and not only did he smoke this 405, but I don't know, when you're lean, things just look really cool. It's really cool to see muscles do what they were meant to do, which is, you know, of course, not just pose, but move things. And this was actually my first real sumo deadlifting session in a couple weeks. And I was, you know, if I was able to do high 400s for 5, I would have been really content. But you know, things turned out to be, you know, I was really not expecting to go over 500. I was going to cap myself at 495, but the IPF clips, which by the way are amazing, they weigh 5 pounds a piece. So this was 505, and I was going to do this for 4 to 5 reps, 4 to 6 reps. And I miscounted, so I got an extra rep on accident. So it was 505 for 7 reps. And I was certainly pleased with this performance, because it's really close to my top end off-season PR when I was somewhere in the mid 180s. I think it was 507 for 10 reps. So 505 for 7, and this is basically my first real sumo deadlifting session in a couple of weeks. I was having issues with my right hip. I'll take it. And again, I'm really going to make it a priority to not just maintain performance, but I think the first few weeks, until I get really lean, I think I can actually make some improvements in certain lifts. But all around, good week, good training session, and a lot of it has to do with, you know, a lot of the positive folks and gyms like Old School Iron that I've been visiting of late. So hanging out with Bryce, lifting with Francisco, who again, he is the bodybuilder I wish I was at his age, to tell you the truth. You know, no ego, knows himself, and understands it, understands what he has to do to maximize himself. So again, I feel very blessed in that regard. So we'll end it here with a shirtless deadlift, and it's not for the sake of I guess stroking the ego, but more so because, again, I think muscles are really cool in that not only do they, you know, I mean, to me anyways, it's a piece of, it's art, but it's really cool to see them do their thing, which is, you know, to see them move things. especially back musculature, because one thing about the back is that there's just so much things going on there, so many different muscle groups, and it's awesome how a very simple deadlift, a very simple movement like the deadlift can make all those things work at once. And anyhow, we'll leave it there, and then hopefully next week I have really good news to report. But as of right now, we're just building momentum, you could say.